Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on Workers' Day. We hope you're having a well-deserved break. I'm your host, Glenn Rashipura, bringing you news, community stories, weather, economics, and much more on this Wednesday evening. Getting into the news tonight, in a rather disturbing report, pigs feasted on the body of a fetus which was concealed in a plastic bag at Oshikuku town on Tuesday. A case of murder and concealment of birth has been opened and is being investigated by the Omusati Police. Omusati Police Crime Investigation Coordinator Deputy Commissioner Moses Simahao said the discovery was made around 4:30 p.m. at an unserviced plot in Oshikuku. Simahao said it is alleged that members of the community saw pigs making noise while eating something in a plastic bag that led them to go and investigate. They found out that the plastic bag contained human remains, baby bones scattered around, and baby clothes with blood stains, and informed the police, he said. Simahao said the remaining baby body parts were transported to Okahau Police Station mortuary for a post-mortem. The police were alerted by a 34-year-old woman. He said no arrests have been made as the suspect is unknown and police investigations into the matter continue. Cyclists from Namibia, Botswana, and South Africa took off on the 17th of April 2024 to embark on a race along the Trans-Kalahari Corridor under the theme Transforming the TKC into an Economic Corridor. The Trans-Kalahari Corridor Secretariat, comprising Namibia, Botswana, and South Africa, celebrated their 20th anniversary with an ambitious cycle challenge crossing 1,800 kilometers from Rustenburg in South Africa through Lobatse in Botswana and finished off in Walvis Bay, Namibia. The two-week event has seen 30 cyclists embark on this grueling yet symbolic expedition, engaging with communities along the corridor as they paddled towards their destination. Leslie Mlungisi Mfofo, the executive director of the TKZs, at the start of the race said the objectives of the event are to promote spatial development initiatives on the Trans-Kalahari Corridor and to create an increased awareness and usage of the TKC for both trade and tourism, thereby increasing the volumes on the TKC. The journey took place over the course of 2 weeks, which began on April 15th in Pretoria and Rustenburg. At the 20th anniversary gala dinner of the TKC Cycling Challenge held in Swakopmund on April 29, 2024, Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, Eliphas Owas Owabrethe, reiterated the Council's dedication to transforming transport corridors into economic hubs. In his statement, Owab highlighted the NRS's investment in initiatives aimed at enhancing transport corridors into spatial economic corridors, benefiting both users and communities along the routes. In addition to the $500,000 Namibian contribution towards the TKC, the NRSC invested heavily in the state-of-the-art roadside equipment, as evidenced at the Arandes Emergency Response and Traffic Management Center, he said. The primary goal of this initiative is to deploy intelligent transportation systems solutions to improve the efficiency and user experience of the corridor while reducing road traffic accidents and incidents. Upon full implementation, the system will include features such as early warning and detection systems for road users during incidents, ultimately enhancing safety and mobility along the corridor. The mentioned center utilizes surveillance based on intelligence transport systems along a nearly 50-kilometer stretch adjacent to Arandes town on the B2 route. In our next story, King Felipe of Belgium arrived in Walvis Bay on Tuesday and will be in the country until Thursday for various engagements, which include a site visit to the Clean Energy Solutions Namibia Green Hydrogen site on Thursday. According to Namibian President Nangolo Mbumba, Namibia is continuing on the support of Belgium to find a mutually beneficial solution following the recent decision by the G7 countries to route all rough and polished diamonds destined for the G7 countries through Belgium. In December 2023, G7 countries introduced import restrictions on diamond from Russia, which came into force on January the 1st this year. These restrictions will also apply to Russian diamonds processed abroad from the 1st of March. Mbumba stressed during the visit of Belgian King Felipe to State House on Tuesday that the decision poses a serious risk and threat to the economies of Namibia, Angola, and Botswana, as it increases costs and restricts freedom of trade in these countries. Namibian exports to Belgium include copper, diamonds, precious metals, fruits, and nuts, among others. King Felipe landing was also a historic first for the Walvis Bay International Airport, which made history when it landed the Belgian King's aeroplane, an Airbus A330-400. Griselda George, airport manager, explains why this is significant.
With the assistance from the Civil Aviation Regulator and our Internal Safety Department, we were able to now demonstrate to the Irongo population that we are able to land aircrafts of this nature. In particular, this aircraft is an Airbus A330-400. It is actually a Code 4E aircraft. Our runway capacity for this particular airport is a Code 4F. So what we've demonstrated today is that this has been the largest commercial aircraft that has landed at Walvis Bay in the past 2 decades. So what the significance of this particular landing is that it means that we will be able to have better air access to Walvis Bay and potentially open up the Walvis Bay airspace to other operators. Demonstrate that Walvis Bay as a national alternative to Hosea Kotafu would mean that we would be able to handle equally sized aircrafts that land at our flagship. We'll also be able to land here at Walvis Bay. Looking at the different industries that are booming in them at the moment, like the oil and gas, the green hydrogen, the existing tourism, the fishing industry, would require us to be able to meet the requirements of these type of airlines. Today's visit, although not a commercial passenger movement, will signify or tells us that this aircraft can land at Walvis Bay.
In our next story, although the Ministry of Health and Social Services has foreign tickets, other goods and services as a planned activity in its procurement plan, the Auditor General's report for the financial year ending March 31st last year shows that millions were used for plane tickets to the conversion of vehicles as ambulances. $36,127 million was used for the evacuation of a student in Russia who stopped her studies and had student visas which expired and could not be renewed. $6.9 million was used for plane tickets of 178 students from Cuba and 12 from Zambia, which were wrongly identified as an emergency expense instead of a request for codes being made to travel agencies listed in the approved document. $18.4 million had to be used for the purchase of emergency response vehicles after an open and national tender process for vehicles and trucks for the Central Medical Story was unsuccessful. $23 million worth of emergency purchases for pharmaceutical products had to be made. This after the ministry has already been waiting for the procurement board since 2017 to finalize the procurement process. This inevitably leads in recent years to continuous drug shortages that endanger the lives of patients. According to the auditor's report, more than $6 million was paid for goods and services for previous financial years without approval from Treasury. According to the ministry, this is due to delays in providing accounts from suppliers as well as a delay in obtaining approval from the Treasury. The report refers to all purchases that were centralized with the implementation of the public procurement law. Economic news follows after this short break.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
In our economic news, Gulf Energia says it will not be able to bring into development its mega 10 billion barrel Mopane well and sees share dilution as the preferred manner to develop other projects it has on its hands. Gulf is looking to sell half its stake in the Mopane well. The comments were made by Gulf CEO Felipe Silva, who said Despite the discovery's size, Gulp would have preferred to go the development route with partners who are willing to share in the cost. Any stake dilution, the capital expenditure, this is going to be a multiple fully diluted shares outstanding development, so it is beyond the financial means of Gulp to keep 80%. Actually, we have the 100% as we were carrying the local partners, Silva said of Gulp's future plans in an investor call. Gulp currently holds 80% stake in the mega discovery, together with the National Petroleum Corporation of Namibia, which holds a 10%, and Casus Energy, which holds the other 10%. Gulp would still by and large be involved in exploration and appraisal activities in parts of its Mopane discovery. It is not selling to major oil producers. According to Silva, first oil production is expected at the end of this decade if there is early production in place. Reuters reported that Gulp hired Bank of America to run the sale process, which could raise several billions of dollars for Gulp, although the exact value is unclear, the source said. Bank of America declined to comment. Gulp's discovery follows on recent exploration campaigns in the same area by Total Energies and Shell. Let's take a look at our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.39, against the euro at 20.01, against the US dollar at 18.77. 2 Namibian dollars and 59 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, all the major commodities went down, with Brent crude oil trading at 2.66%, going for $85 and 75 cents per barrel. After this short break, we'll take a look at our story of the day.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouth-watering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
With over 700 students obtaining qualifications in the field of education from the University of Namibia Northern campuses last week, Friday, Umusati Governor Ergenius Njala weighs in on how the teaching profession has become saturated as thousands of graduates are without jobs already. He said that the teaching profession has reached its peak in as far as the number of graduates that obtain qualifications in education, and called upon those applying to diversify to turn to other professions.
Honorable Governor, thank you for making time for us. Can you just tell us what is your take on the fact that we have a high youth unemployment rate, and we see there another graduation where graduates who have obtained their qualifications have to now go into the community and look for jobs. So just tell us, how do you feel about this whole scenario in our country right now?
Well, thank you very much. I think it's a very good thing that we have now a young population of Namibia that is educated. However, as you alluded, that majority of us that we are graduating now, probably we have now to start revisiting what type of courses that we can offer that is talk to the job market. Because some job markets are already flooded, like teaching. I think we have stretched. We've now reached our peak. Probably it's the time now either to retrain for new subjects that are coming in, that specifically that talk about the innovations that currently we are facing in the areas of green hydrogens, the oil and gas exploration. Maybe that is where the focus is supposed to be now. But well, we know that also not only studying now to get job, but we must also create job. But there are some areas that are unfortunately very difficult now to create job, like in the teaching fraternity. I think the market is already saturated. There are so many institutions that are currently offering education, and the graduates thereof, we have a challenge to absorb them. Maybe it's the time now we have to start scaling down in terms of enrollment, to start now looking at the critical areas that we need more And that is, I think, is the skill that we lack in Namibia.
Okay.
For us now to make a meaningful in our Namibian economy.
Okay, you talked about teaching being saturated, but we found instances whereby some schools' classrooms are overcrowded. One teacher is teaching up to 80, 90 learners. Doesn't that say that no, we don't have adequate number of classes which could make space for teachers to come and teach in those schools?
No, even we could build more extra schools, more extra classrooms. The issue is just to say it's not all of them they will be absorbed. The number have surpassed the supply. That is by nature, and therefore probably either now those who are graduated and could not find job to upgrade themselves to another level.
Okay.
Because in the master level, if you could see the number of the masters is very low, the number of PhD is very low. Probably we have now to start upscaling a little bit for us now to create market for now tertiary educations and then the higher learning institutions. I think that is where to go.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, Honorable.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Nigeria has raised salaries for government workers. Ruins of an almost 300-year-old town have resurfaced in the Philippines, and at least 19 people have been killed after part of a highway collapsed in southern China. This international story is coming up on the other side of the break.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Nigeria on Tuesday raised salaries for government workers by between 25% and 35% backdated to January, the Salaries Commission said, as Africa's biggest economy grapples with its worst cost of living crisis in nearly 3 decades. The lowest paid government employees will earn 450,000 naira a year or 37,500 monthly, the National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission said in a statement. The increase covers all federal government employees, including those in the health, education and security sectors. The government is separately negotiating with labor unions on a new national monthly minimum wage, which was last reviewed in 2019. Nigerians are facing inflation of 33.20%, the highest in 28 years, after the government removed a popular petrol subsidy and foreign currency controls, which weakened the naira currency. The country's electricity regulator this month hiked tariffs for some consumers as the government tries to wean the economy from subsidies to ease pressure on public finances. At least 19 people have been killed after part of a highway collapse in southern China's Guangdong province, state broadcaster CCTV reported. A 17.9-meter stretch of the S12 highway between Meizu City and Dabo County caved in at about 2:10 a.m. on Wednesday, trapping dozens of people in 18 vehicles. As of 11:45 a.m., 19 people have been confirmed dead and 30 are receiving all-out emergency care in hospital, CCTV reported. It added that the lives of those in hospital were not currently at risk, but did not go into detail on other injuries. Social media footage shared by local news outlets showed flames and smoke rising from a deep, dark pit into which the cars appeared to have fallen. Authorities have sent about 500 people to the site to help with the rescue operation, CCTV reported. The cause of the collapse was not specified. Guangdong has been hit by a series of extreme weather events in recent weeks, from heavy rain to flooding and a deadly tornado. In our next story, the ruins of an almost 300-year-old town have resurfaced as searing temperatures in the Philippines partially dried up a major dam. Pandambangan town was submerged in the 1970s to build a reservoir, but it emerges from the water on extremely rare occasions when the weather is dry and hot. It comes as almost half the country is experiencing a drought with temperatures reaching highs in several areas. This is the longest the town has ever been above water since the dam was constructed. Marlon Paladin, an engineer with the state agency that operates the country's dams, told news agency AFP. The extreme heat has disrupted the daily lives of millions as schools are shut for days and office workers are advised to work from home, and it could still get marginally hotter in the coming days. Benson Estaraja, a meteorologist at the state-run weather bureau PayGaza, told BBC News. The general impact of climate change on the Philippines is warmer temperatures. The heat that we are experiencing, it could steadily increase in the coming days, Mr. Estaraja said. Now, the Philippines is in the middle of its warm and dry season, which is exacerbated by El Nino on the unusual warming of surface waters in the Pacific Ocean. The archipelago nation's entire east coast faces the Pacific. The Southeast Asian nation is one of the most at-risk countries in the world from the effects of climate change. Its wet season can bring about monster storms like Super Typhoon Haiyan in 2013, one of the most powerful in history. The water level there has fallen by nearly 50 meters from its normal high level of 221 meters based on official data. We now take a look at our weather predictions. Katiba Mulilo can expect sunny weather with a minimum of 13 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius. Oshakati can expect a minimum of 15 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius. Handys Bay can also expect some sunny weather with a minimum of 17 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius. Rehoboth can expect a minimum of 15 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius. After this short break, we'll be getting into our sports news.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nhh.com.na.
Getting into our local sports news, Namibian international Ryan Nyembe will be playing in English football's second-tier division next season after helping Derby County win promotion from League One. Needing only a draw against Carlisle United, the division's bottom side, to end their two-year stay in League One, Derby sealed their promotion with a 2-0 courtesy of goals from Max Burt and James Collins. Nyembe missed Saturday's match through injury, but was a key figure for their promotion push. The versatile defender, who was at a crossroads in his career, made 20 appearances for the Rams since joining the club as a free agent in September, bolstering head coaches Paul Warren's defensive options. Alex Miller and Monique Duplessis retained their men and women national jerseys following dominant performances at the 2024 Nedbank Namibia ex-CEO National Cross Country Championship, which took place at the IJG Trials in Kleine Coupe on Saturday. The event, organized by the Namibian Cycling Federation in collaboration with Nedbank Namibia and other sponsors, was attended by Deputy Minister of Sport, Youth and National Services, Dr. Emma Kantema Homas, who officiated at the prize-giving ceremony. On form, elite rider Miller clocked 1 hour 30 minutes and 59 seconds ahead of returning cyclist Tristan de Lang, who followed more than 8 minutes behind the defending national champion. The Namibia Breweries Limited yesterday announced its sponsorship of $3 million to the Namibia Rugby Union in support of various programs until the 2027 Rugby World Cup. The involvement of NBL in these initiatives are pivotal not only for the advancement of rugby within Namibia, but also for promoting our sport on the international stage. NRU Vice President for Rugby Matters, Johan Diergaardt, said domestic club and regional leagues, the participation in Rugby Africa's Under-20 Baths Cup, contributions to the expenses of referees, the NRU's national housing budget, and the NRU's annual and club forum meetings are among the aspects pointed out in the allocation of funds. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday evening. From me, Glenora Shipura, I hope you had a wonderful Workers' Day.